Welcome back to Cato Living. We are now joined with Andrew, who is a local father of 10 and has a lot of advice for us learning how to balance work life, family life, and living in the digital age. So Andrew, thank you for being with us today.
Maddie, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
Of course, yeah, it will be fun. And you know, one thing that I'm interested in learning from you right away is I'm not a parent. So learning from and hearing from your own experiences, what are some challenges that parents face today in the digital age?
I would say the number one thing that we face with a family of 10 is the digital distraction that the kids have when they're, immersed in their technology. And, an hour can pass so quickly that they don't even realize that the hour has passed and they've been immersed in their digital technology. So that's been our number one challenge as a parent.
And so how do you call that back, or how do you reel that in? Because I feel like there's almost I feel like there's a line of, respecting the kids and what they're doing on that, but also like respecting the family time, and how do you balance that?
So one of the strategies that we've noticed, so the kids get really disconnected when they're on those devices.
Right.
It just really consumes it, and it does for all of us, right?
Right.
We get on these digital platforms and they just suck us in, right?
That's what they're made for.
Yeah. And so one thing that we've done, my wife has been so good. I mean, without her recognizing this stuff, I'm kind of obtuse and would be off and doing doing what I do as a dad. But we have instituted a thing, we call it screen-free evening. So after dinner, we shut everything off, and usually we're all gathering together in the living room, and conversation ensues. Kids are playing on the floor, because we have kids all the way from infancy all the way to, well, we could say 23, 24 when they're at home, that kind of a thing. But we have a very traditional family to where we all eat dinner together.
Right.
And then we migrate into the living room. And so we intentionally set time aside to just gather as a family and remove the digital distraction.
Right, and I think that at least in my family, when we're spending time together, it is us watching a movie. And for me, I'm very much like, no, I don't really see you guys that often. Like, I want to be with you guys. And so, what advice would you say to families, that even potentially it's okay to turn off the television, right? What would you say to them?
I guess what we do is we just say, let's go outside, weather permitting, right? Last couple of days it's been a little bit challenging with the weather, the rain and whatnot, but we try to get our kids involved in the outdoor activities and do stuff with them. So
and actively being involved with them as they're outside. Yeah,
because kids ultimately want our attention, right? As parents, they look up to us. We're very good examples on one side, and we're very poor examples on the others, right?
Right.
The little kids are watching. They monkey see, monkey do, right? So if Dad's on his device, guess what they're doing?
They're going to do the
distracted.
same thing.
Hey, Dad, can I? And I'm distracted, right? So then they melt away and go into their own thing. So we've been, far from perfect, but when we remember how to, when we recognize that the kids are distracted, we remove them from the environment and try to get them into a space where we can actually be with them and play at their level. Does that make sense?
Of course it does. And another thing too with what you're saying, having that pressure almost as a parent in general, it's inherent. And so for parents who may be struggling or feeling super stressful, how do you recommend they manage that stress?
That's a great question, because for me and a lot of my clients, we have this ability to be very overachievers, and try to work so hard at providing that we forget to slow down and get to our kids' level. So again, my wife has been so good at that by setting boundaries for me personally to say, okay, now it's family time. So I would say, slow down, take a deep breath, realize what is it important in life, right? It's our kids that are important, right? At that time, we have our family time, we have our work time, but during family time, you got to be intentional and be with those kids, because you have so little time with them. You look at how quickly life has passed, right?
Yeah, and speaking of running out of time, we ran out of time.
But Andrew, if somebody wanted to reach out and get resources, how can they reach out to you?
They can reach me at apknows.com. That's probably the best place to go.
All right,
Andrew,
thank
you for joining us, and we'll have more after the break. Stay with us.